Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're just going to wait a couple minutes for anyone running behind, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, looks like everyone's settling in right now, so let's go ahead and get started. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us for our webinar, Power Your SMS Communication with EZMessaging, powered by Textmunication. We're very excited to have our expert app partner here, Textmunication, to discuss the benefits of a dedicated SMS platform will bring to your business. Just a reminder for everyone joining us today, if you have any questions during the webinar, please type them into the question box in your control panel seen here, and we will go over them in the Q&A session at the end. Also, just want to do a quick sound check, so if you could please type yes if you guys can hear me in the question box, that would be great. All right, everyone can hear me. Excellent. So today, our presenter is Nick Manello, who is Textmunication's co-founder and vice president of sales, and comes to us with 17 years of sales management and leadership experience. During the webinar, he'll be sharing how text messaging will directly empower your marketing, customer retention, and loyalty efforts while driving increased profits. Nick will also give you a peek into EZMessaging, our newest text messaging solution, so you can visualize how text messaging will help you further engage with your clients and grow your facility. So now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Nick Manello.
Thank you, EZFacility, and thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. Your time is greatly appreciated. I know we all have busy schedules. I am excited to present this product to you today. It's a very powerful, engaging product that leverages today's most effective and popular forms of communication. And I can't stress enough how thankful I am and how awesome the EZFacility team has been at putting this together. We've had ongoing conversations with your club management provider for a few years now on developing and creating a powerful tool to help you grow your business, retain your members, better communicate with your audience, and we couldn't have done it without EZFacility. So you do have a great team that runs your club management system there at EZFacility, and just wanted to thank them while I had this opportunity. So without further ado, what you showed up to this meeting for today was to learn about EZMessaging. EZMessaging is a mobile direct engagement solution that engages your audience with today's most effective way to connect with people instantly via text message. Not only is it the most popular form of communication, but statistically it's the best way to connect with people nowadays. EZMessaging is a complete A to Z solution, supporting your health and fitness establishment or your establishment in the pre-sale process, point of sale process, and post-sale communication, marketing, and engagement. The solution is very easy to implement and very simple to manage, as it's mainly automated due to the integration that we have collectively built with the EZFacility team. Let's go ahead and take a look at this solution. Hopefully you're seeing the EZMessaging software on your end, the login portal. We're going to go ahead and log in and test drive today's vehicle and get a feel for what this can do for your business. Essentially, EZMessaging breaks down to three modules: keyword marketing, auto SMS, all of your automated text alerts, as well as it's equipped with a complete campaign center for all of your ad hoc campaigns. And those are the three modules that we'll be covering today. The first functionality we're going to cover, everyone on this call is familiar with. Whether you like the show or not, we've all know the hit show American Idol. They encourage the viewers of that show to participate in the outcome of that show by placing your votes via text message. More importantly, more recently, Red Cross, when they encourage Americans to donate to hurricanes or wildfires, you will notice they're not encouraging us to visit a website or call a 1-800 number any longer. They want us to simply text to donate. You're going to be equipped with that same technology, and the first functionality that we're going to cover today is going to require a little participation on your end. So I kindly ask you to grab your cell phones. And this is going to be a marketing tool that can be used in one of several ways, but the most common way is going to be lead inquiry capturing, lead generation, and bringing new bodies to your facility. I have a demo word set up for this demonstration purpose, which will be displayed on the screen now. The keyword that has been established is the word trial, for example, a trial membership or a trial guest pass. And the short code that you'll be sending that keyword to, in other words, the phone number you're generating the text to, is the number you see on the screen, 52236. And short codes are abbreviated numbers used to facilitate SMS traffic, and they're also easy to remember. So I kindly ask you to grab your cell phone, compose a new text message, and in your to body where you can manually enter a number, please enter 52236, type the word trial in your messaging component, and send that text message off when you're ready. I'll keep this displayed here on the screen for a few more seconds as a visual, and then I'll show you where the magic happens on the back end. For those that are proceeding with the demonstration and opting into the keyword trial on your phone, you're going to experience a reply back in communication from the EZMessaging system. Keep in mind that is for demonstration purposes only, so it does have a made-up name, business name, establishment within the messaging. So you should be experiencing two types of responses back on your mobile phone. One is a SMS disclaimer, welcoming that consumer for opting into your text program and letting them know they may receive reoccurring messages. Because EZMessaging was built around TCPA compliance and laws and regulations about texting, there's never a single person in your database that does not get disclaimed first and foremost. So when potential new members or potential new customers are opting in through this process to claim a free trial membership, a membership offer, a special on training, or simply a membership offer, or maybe a chance to win a membership, people would see that, consumers would see that through marketing, and they would opt in on their mobile phone to participate or claim the offer. So those that opt in get two text messages in response, a disclaimer, and then it's followed up with a unique autoresponder message. That autoresponder message is fully customizable, and it should go hand in hand with why the consumer's opting in. If they're opting in for a free guest pass or a trial membership like this example shows, that's what the message should correlate with. It should offer and extend whatever your standard guest pass is with a link up to your website and or online web form within that text message. And I believe I did put a URL in there to interact with, but it will not be a valid link. Okay. Now, beyond that additional autoresponder, let me go ahead and show you where this functionality was set up now in the EZMessaging system. Bear with me. I'm going to now remove this from the screen here. The keyword again was trial to 52236. Okay. Now, in the EZMessaging software itself that is integrated and communicates with your EZFacility club management software, there's a section here on the left called keywords. And keywords will allow you to be activated directly in the system. The system will tell you if the keyword is available or not, because once a keyword is being utilized, it's no longer available to another user. Here is the messaging response that you should have gotten back on your phone. The standard disclaimer that says, welcome to business name alerts. You'll now receive reoccurring messages. And the purpose of that is, if you don't convert this lead inquiry into a paying customer at this very moment, you are now accumulating an opt-in list that you may market back to down the road via text message. The second message would be the autoresponder here, which is fully customizable there. Thank you for your interest in XYZ Club. Show this text or click below to claim your complimentary trial. So think about this. A keyword is marketed. Consumers will see or hear it and opt in. EZMessaging will start a conversation with a potential new member or customer on behalf of you with your own unique communication. And it's also going to capture the cell phone number from that consumer on the back end and put them into your database as a new lead opt-in. So I can see here that 47 people have just opted in to this keyword, which is outstanding. So everyone should have gone through that auto response process. And here is all the phone numbers that are coming in to the folder associated with that keyword. So you can see the moment you send that text message off, it's stamped with a date and time. It immediately captures the cell phone number for that potential new customer and responds back to them via text message. So what now? We got these opt-ins. We have these targeted potential customers that are opting in, expressing interest. And what do we do at that juncture? Well, the first goal would be to link them up to your website and to your guest pass form so we can capture additional information about this potential new member, such as name, date of birth, email, et cetera, et cetera. And if they go through that process, great. You have a more complete lead profile. But let's say they don't click on the link for whatever reason. And at that juncture, all you have is a cell phone number captured in the database, which in my opinion is probably the most important piece of information we can capture now. EZMessaging system is going to automatically notify your email inbox every time your keyword collects a new inquiry. And the benefit of that would be, one, for awareness, and two, it will allow you or your staff to get in contact with this potential new customer moments after they express interest. And that would be conducted through a text message or a phone call introduction so that you can start your sales process with this customer, invite them down to the facility, and walk them through redeeming that offer that they're texting in for. Other uses of keyword marketing would be as follows. Perhaps a secondary keyword can be used internally at your establishment for personal training inquiries. Maybe you have a member that is having challenges working out on their own. They're interested in training. They want to learn more about what your facility has to offer on the training side of things. However, at that present time, maybe there's no one available for them to speak with, or the training department is tied up. There could be collateral or signage that encourages that member to opt in through a keyword to request some sort of fitness assessment, orientation, or perhaps a training session. And now your fitness team has an inquiry from a member that's interested in training. That would be another way to utilize it. Another way we see these keywords commonly used would be for data segmenting. So if you're a facility establishment that has several amenities that you specialize in, and you would like to have your members specifically get text messages based on those amenities, you could essentially have a keyword per department, and members can opt into the keywords based on what they want to receive communication on. So it can also play a key role in data segmenting. One final idea that I would have would also be for mobile app download. So if you have a mobile app for your members to download, and you want them to engage in that app more often, or you're looking to increase app downloads you can encourage people to opt in through a keyword to download your app, and it sends them a link right back in a text message for them to download it. Let me go ahead and share one or two examples of how current clients today are marketing their keywords, just to connect the dots here. Here is the UFC Gym brand, and through all of their digital marketing, local marketing and advertising, all the way down to print collateral, they simply encourage the residents of their community to opt in through the keyword UFC Gym to the short code 87365 for a free pass and a chance to win a free membership. Let me share one other example here with you, and we'll move along. Here's another example with a unique call to action. Crunch Fitness brand conducting a contest to garner lead inquiries. So you can see the call to action there at the top is slightly different. Enter to win a 1-year membership and 8 free personal training sessions, a $2,000 value. Text the word sweat to 87365 to enter and get a 7-day guest pass with your entry. So these are live promotions. If you were to opt into this, chances are Crunch or UFC would contact you with a phone call or a text message within 60 minutes, thinking that you're a potential new customer. And that's how fast it can be. The biggest benefit of this functionality that you will experience is that the leads captured through this process are converted as high as 60% of the time. So for every keyword, or for every 10 inquiries your keyword captures, you can expect to enroll 6 out of 10 as a new paying customer. And just to share a couple of success stories on this functionality here, here's a athletic club active today with the service. They utilize the functionality that we just covered, keyword marketing, and we were able to establish a success story with them over a 30-day time frame. They were marketing their keyword here in the local Bay Area BART stations, which is our in other words, our subway train, local commuting transit. And when people walk up to the platform to wait for their next train, there was essentially a billboard there that they had advertised, encouraging the people waiting for their next train to text in for a membership or for a trial membership and a 0 enrollment offer if they were to enroll after their trial membership expired. And over a 30-day time frame, that advertisement captured over 71 inquiries, and they were able to convert 21 new memberships for that 1 month that we conducted this case study. So out of the 71 lead inquiries captured, 21 were converted to paying new members, which equated to just under $2,000 in monthly reoccurring membership sales during one single text campaign. So just supporting how effective the keyword marketing aspect can be there. One other example would be this user here with Orange Theory Fitness. He used it in a unique fashion where he sent out a text message to his prospect and former member audience and encouraged them to reply to the text message with his unique keyword to come back and retry his Orange Theory Fitness out on a guest pass. And within a 24-hour time frame, he had over 325 responses come in. So he literally sent out a message, encouraged the recipients to reply to the message with a keyword, and the following morning he had 325 opportunities for his membership team to work with. So highly effective marketing tool. Let's go ahead and move along to the next piece here. We are now going to touch on Module 2, Auto SMS. This is going to be your EZMessaging automated dashboard where you can set up text messaging, assign a time, forget about it, and let it go to work for you. Now, these are all pick and choose a la carte. You can turn on what messaging you want activated. If there's specific messaging you don't want turned on, you're not forced to use every functionality in this section. The very first message we're going to cover and walk through some of these capabilities would be your birthday text messages. And there's an opportunity to set up as many birthday messages as you want, so that way you can target different demographics of your database. I would recommend one unique birthday message to your active customer base, your active members, for relationship building, and perhaps give them an offer to consider redeeming based on your business needs. I would have a secondary birthday message geared for your former customers, canceled, terminated customers, your non-active customers. So that way you can bring those opportunities back in the door and let them know you're still thinking of them on their special day and give them some sort of offer to consider redeeming during their birthday month or week. I would then recommend a third one specifically for your lead or prospect database or your guest database. And that would greet them on their birthday as well as extend a birthday offer for them to consider redeeming. And it's as simple as typing your own unique birthday message and greeting on the message field, assigning the time of delivery of what time you want it delivered on their birthday, selecting what groups you want participating in that message of your EZFacility database, and then you would simply turn the feature on. And once that feature is activated, every single night while we're sleeping, the EZMessaging system is working for you. It's going to be validating how many birthdays you have the next day in the associated groups you have participating and trigger that communication accordingly to anyone that qualifies to receive that message. Okay, let's go ahead and scroll down at some of the other capabilities here. Special occasions. These would be annual messages, and there's no limit to how many you can set up. These are specifically designed to set up any kind of annual holiday greetings and hours of operation to your member base, any annual events that you have consistently, or any annual marketing promotions that you want going out from time to time, whether it be peak season or slow seasons. Of course, you would have the ability, once these are turned on, to, at any time down the road, come back and make future edits to these messages. Okay, the next functionality down is going to be your sequence of new member alerts. And I use the word sequence because there's no limit to how many of these you can set up. And the purpose of new member alerts is designed to greet your member from the start and automatically follow up with onboarding steps and relevant information that you want to convey to them as far as programs and services you offer, collecting referrals, getting them familiar with club amenities, and so on. And it's designed to engage your member from the start and steer them down the path of success. So how this would look is this. You sign up a new client, they get put into EZFacility software, then EZMessaging will automatically retrieve that information and greet your new customer with a welcome message. Just like you got a welcome message by opting in through the keyword, your new members that you sign up or new customers from day to day, as soon as you put them into EZFacility, they're going to get greeted with a welcome SMS disclaimer so that you can send them reoccurring text messages. At the same time and in conjunction with that message, guys, comes your first new member alert. And that is a way to thank your new customer for joining your establishment, but more importantly, taking the very first step that you want to accomplish with them. An example of that would be if your new customers get to meet with your training team or a personal trainer for some sort of assessment or orientation after point of enrollment, this would be piggybacking that and ensuring that they schedule that opportunity. If that's not part of your process, then obviously you would create different communication there, but your first new member alert should be a way to thank them and take that very next step of what it is that you want to accomplish with your new member. And then there's an opportunity here to expand upon the sequence and add additional follow-ups to your new member. So perhaps 3 to 5 days later, you send them a follow-up text message communication that will maybe encourage them to download your app, or maybe provide your class schedule and give them the opportunity to try one with a friend. Perhaps you are big on social media and you want to expand upon your social media following. One of these new member alerts within the sequence should be an invitation for that member to like you or follow you on social media. The keyword functionality that we opted into at the beginning of the phone call or the webinar, this would be one avenue on where you could advertise that keyword. Perhaps 30 days after the member joins would be an opportune time to ask them for referrals and what they need to do to refer people. And your new member alert could say, invite a friend to XYZ Fitness Club. Simply have friends or family text our keyword to 52236 for that free guest pass. And that would simply be one way to advertise your keyword for ongoing referrals. Because this is a sequence of messaging and there's no limit to how many you can set up, if you wanted to greet your client exactly 1 year later, just put 365 days later here, and it will greet them with a happy 1 year anniversary text message and perhaps an offer if you should consider giving them one to redeem. Okay, so those are your sequence of new member alerts. Going to greet your new customer from the start and automatically follow up with a drip series of messages up to any amount and as far out in advance as you'd like. Okay, scroll down to the next capability here, a cancellation message. In the event a member is requesting to cancel, not one of my favorite things to talk about, but they are a nature of the business. They do occur from time to time. And what this would do is EZMessaging will retrieve that cancellation was processed in EZFacility and send a confirmation out to that departing client, customer, or member that their request was processed. And at the end of the day, for some consumers, professionalism and ending that relationship in a professional manner can go a long way, especially when they're back in the market for a fitness program. That could stand out and allow them to remember you guys. But what you could accomplish in this message, as some examples could be, encourage them to reply back to the text message with why they're leaving. And that information could become valuable, help your team improve, or maybe attempt to save the member from canceling. Another idea would be to encourage them to reactivate their membership or welcome them back to rejoin at any time. And perhaps there's an incentive if they do so within a certain time frame. Okay, we miss you text message. This is a retention tool designed to keep people on track of their fitness program. It is being monitored off check-ins at the front desk. It will allow you to set a parameter here to the far right, such as 15 days for an example. And if we all walked into your facility today, we get checked in for a workout, we do a class, we do a session, we work out solo, whatever the case may be, we leave an hour later. If we do not come back for our next workout within the time frame that you have set here, or your member or client does not come back and get checked in within the time frame that's set here, it's going to automatically retrieve that in the nightly update. And then the following day at your designated time, trigger a text message to that individual to re-engage them and bring them back into your facility before they fall off a cliff and eventually cancel for not using. So that is a retention tool. The next series of messages down is, again, a sequence of alerts up to any amount. And these are going to be extremely important in connecting with members that are declined on a payment of some sort. If you have staff or if you are still calling these people one by one, you understand that that's a process. A lot of people are not answering phones. So your chances are you're leaving voicemails left and right. With this integration in place, and because we're doing a nightly sweep and update on the integration, we are going to see as payment declines occur. And the member or your client can receive communication as soon as the following day or the following morning at your designated time with a notification that there was an error processing their membership payment and what they need to do to update that payment. And within that message, keep in mind, guys, URL links are interactive, obviously, but so are phone numbers. So I always like to give recipients of text messages a this or that option, such as click here or call this number. And that's especially important for a billing alert because they need to know how they need to respond to take care of their method of payment. Now, if the member or customer responds to the billing notification and we see that payment was updated in the next nightly update, we don't need to follow up with that customer. So it automatically removes them from the list. But let's say you have a secondary billing notification set for 3 days later, which means 3 days after the decline occurred. If they still owe you a balance by that time, EZMessaging is going to automatically follow up with them. And they're going to continue to do so based on how many you have set up here. You might want one on day 10. You might want another on day 15. And then day 30, day 45, day 60, and day 90. And it will continue to follow up with them until one of the following occurs. Either they update their method of payment successfully, or your messaging expires, or they go into some sort of collection or cancellation process. So this would be, in a sense, your own automated, effective and cost-effective collection billing decline department. All right, last but not least, on your auto SMS dashboard, you have your prospect alert functionality. So if you have an opportunity or are entering guests or leads or prospects into your club management system, that data will be retrieved and we will start a communication process to them via text message, welcoming them to your establishment with an SMS disclaimer. And then they would also receive Prospect Alert 1, which would be a great way for you to thank them for checking your facility out and giving them some information about your club. The Prospect Alert is a sequence that will also allow you to automatically have follow-up text messages go into your prospects day-to-day to keep an open dialogue with them, getting them familiar with amenities, what makes you guys unique over competitors, how you're going to help them achieve fitness goals, and perhaps some sort of training or membership offering to get them converted to a member. Okay. Auto SMS, set it, forget it, let it go to work for you, all automated, all customizable, interacting with your EZFacility database, and every night the API integration that we have in place is doing an auto update to validate if any of these messaging needs to be triggered. So while I'm on that subject, we will cover how we access data and how that updates. But before I navigate away from the auto SMS section, I always like to validate how, what kind of impact EZMessaging is going to bring to your health club establishment. So here are two ROI examples based around what we just covered, auto SMS. Here is an organization in the East Coast called Cardio Express. And they specifically use text messaging for member billing decline communication. And they had a call center at each location that was responsible, or an operations manager that was responsible for calling these members one by one to update payment. And their vice president recently gave us a testimonial that says in just 30 days and a series of 4 billing text launches, we experienced a 30% increase of initial decline collections, which has continued every month since. So not only are they saving time and manpower from those individual phone calls and voicemails and follow-ups, they're collecting more collectability revenue than they were previously. So if you throw everything else out the window and EZMessaging was only equipped with billing alerts, you can expect return on investment by itself just from the billing alert aspect alone. One other example here would be the fitness rave that I would want to share. They utilize auto SMS pretty consistently. And this is related to the new prospect alerts. Lydia Haskell is a competitor, and she owns 2 fitness raves in the Baltimore, Maryland area. And she gave us some feedback and a testimonial related to the new auto prospect alerts within the automated section we just covered. And she said everything so far is going great. I really believe the text messaging follow-up to our prospect is making a huge difference. We are signing up 7 to 10 new members a day since the new year. This was established last year. She's still an active customer today, and her experience has been 7 to 2 new membership enrollments on average per week through the automated prospect alert functionality. All right, let's move along to the data access and segmenting. How does your data come over from your EZFacility system to the EZMessaging messaging system? It's under subscribers. This is where your database will be stored, and your data from EZFacility is going to funnel right over into a section called CRM generated groups. And what's coming over is your current member list, your former or canceled members, any prospect or guest or lead data that you may have. We even segment non-workout members into their own group. Non-workout members or customers are people that are paying but not getting actively checked in for workouts or sessions. I've heard every term for those people: sleeping dogs, the sleeping dead, sleeping giants, non-workout members, people that are paying but not using. Depending on what your philosophy is, you may not want to communicate with that audience because it could remind them to cancel. So we give you the option to include them or exclude them in that communication. Those auto groups, based on how you have them established in your EZFacility software, are going to automatically funnel over, segment, and update every single night. So every night, it's going to pull over and retrieve the new information your team put in that day, and it's going to automatically update them as well. In addition to the automated groups that we pull over from EZFacility, you're also going to have the ability to create customary groups here at the top. And that will allow for a more targeted text campaign aspect. Maybe you don't want to send a text to all of your active members, perhaps a certain demographic. Or maybe you want to send a text message to 90-day prospects versus your entire 10-year history of prospects. You would have that ability to create customary groups up here as well. If you have multiple locations or a large staff that you work with, a team that works for you, you may even consider grouping your staff members and associates within your EZMessaging software and utilize it for internal communication as well. Updates, meetings, promotions, maybe include your management team in any promotional offers that go out so they're aware of what's being sent out and they can be prepared for the response that comes in. So you're going to have automated groups coming over from EZFacility, and they will auto update and segment each night. You'll also have the ability to create customary groups, and there's 2 other groups here that will auto purge for you that I'll point out. Because text messaging works on an opt-in, opt-out basis, those that unsubscribe, when they reply stop, they will come here to your opt-out group. So that way you're recognizing who's opting out. The second group that gets automatically purged out is your non-deliverable phone numbers that you might have accumulated over time, such as landlines that we can't send a text message to, or an invalid number, as an example. You're going to want to be able to identify those members and customers so you know, number one, who you need to get a phone number from later to update the database. And then more importantly, you know who's getting your communication and who's not. And that way you're not wasting any text credits on a number you can't send a text message to. So that's how smart EZMessaging is. As soon as a message goes out, it's going to report right back to the user in the reporting module what type of number they're sending a text to, and if there was a successful delivery or not. And if it doesn't get delivered, why? Is it a landline, invalid number? Have they previously opted out? And you get those types of metrics reported back to you. Okay, where do these groups come into play? The groups come into play within the final module that we're going to cover today before we open it up for a Q&A is your campaign center. And this is a complete campaign center equipped with mass group texting, singular texting, one-to-one messaging, as well as two-way communication. We're going to go ahead and walk through this campaign center, and you're going to be sent an example to your phone as well for opting in earlier. So this is the only functionality that would require some consistent management by someone on the team, whether it be logging in weekly to send or schedule a message, or log in monthly to schedule all your messages at once, or even quarterly, because there is a scheduler here that will allow you to schedule your text campaigns in advance. So for all of your emergencies, for all of your class cancellations, for all of the events that you want to invite people to, health and fitness tips for engagement, any marketing promotions, this is the engine that's going to provide immediate engagement with your audience. Because unlike email, when you send out a text message, you're going to get a 97% read rate, as to where with email, we'll be lucky to get 20%. And health clubs really love using this feature because of the immediate response, immediate revenue that they drive, and participation that comes with the efficiency of texting. So let's walk through the steps here. The first step is giving your campaign a name. So name of text goes here. Recipients don't know what you name your campaign. That's more for your information only. Then it equips you with a message line. This is where you would type and create your text campaigns for updates, events, promotions, and more. Okay, notice as I type on the line there, it's actually counting down, letting you know how many characters you have left in your allotted amount. So that way you don't go over. Okay, now let's say we want to make text messaging interactive to your recipients. We want to expand upon our text message to deeper content, a visual or extended functionality. EZMessaging is equipped with a URL shortener, so you could drive people to a landing page, website, perhaps a video, image, class schedule, calendar. Simply copy and paste the field here or the link, and when you check the shorten option, it's going to give you an abbreviated link embedded into the text message for recipients to interact with and click on. Now the group selection comes into play. Who do you want receiving your message? Members, prospects, former members, a customary group, your staff, everyone, the entire database. Simply check the box of who you want your message to go to. And this, again, is your mass group texting, sending a communication to hundreds or thousands at once. Okay, we've got our group selected. The next step is going to be review campaign here on the right. This is going to give you a visual of what it's going to look like cosmetically to the recipient's in phone. And there's the text message there. There's an opt-out reserved in every text. You can see there, text stop to stop. If they reply stop and opt out, they no longer receive text messaging at all unless they opt back in. The only message they would qualify to get beyond that opt-out would be billing communication, billing notifications. Okay, at this juncture, you can send the text message to your phone first for a preview. Send me a preview, would send it to the user's phone number on file just to confirm what it looks like before you send it out to a large group. When your message is ready, simply hit send or schedule campaign. A little pop-up will occur in the bottom corner letting you know your campaign has been submitted. EZMessaging is the fastest messaging platform in the industry. Typically, on average, texting systems can send in the range of 100 messages per second, and EZMessaging can send 500 messages per second. So I'm willing to bet everyone just received already that text message that we just sent. For those that received it, it looks like it should have went to 47 people. Please reply to that text message with the word cool or thank you. The purpose of that, I'll show you the two-way interactivity aspect of it and where you would see your members and your audience responding to your text message communication. Okay, so that was your mass group texting component. The next tab over here, singular campaign. All you would need to do to locate someone and then send individual communication would be to search them by name or number in this field, hit the search option, and it'll locate anyone for you within your EZFacility database. Once it's located, you simply type up your text message and you can send that singular or that individual a single text message. That's going to be great for follow-up purposes. If you need to engage with a prospect to get them to sign up, or as just an individual member for a follow-up purpose, maybe a renewal on their membership or training offering as an example. As you start campaigning, all of your messaging, your campaigns will get stored on a shelf here in your past campaign history. And this is going to be an area where you'll have the ability to reuse some of these messages without having to recreate them. Then you'll have a scheduled campaign area where you can make modifications, changes, edits, or even cancel a message that has not gone out yet. And then last but not least, the far tab over to your right, I'm hitting the refresh button right now to retrieve everyone's reply back communication. This is where you'll see inbound replies. Who's responding on the left, the message they're responding with, and there's the last person that just came in, thank you. And you'll have an opportunity to hit reply over here on the right to reply back to this person for two-way communication. You would simply type on the line here, and then there's a send back option to reply right back to that person for any communication or inquiries you feel needed. On this section, it will also display to you the entire history of messages that you and that person have exchanged back and forth with one another. So that way you know what you've sent them and what they are responding to. So a complete history of communication. So there's your campaign center, mass group texting, singular texting, and two-way communication. Health clubs really, really love this feature because it can produce results like this. Here is an example with an active user today, a franchisee of 9 Crunch Fitness locations. And on the last day of March for closeout, they actually sent a marketing promotion to a database that consisted of just over 20,000 people. And the results within a 24-hour time frame was 700 memberships enrolled in a 24-hour time frame. 700 membership enrollments in 24 hours is quite impressive. They had 9 locations, and they averaged about 78 memberships per location and grossed over $10,000 in revenue in a single day. And the marketing director's testimonial, he basically recommends the texting solution because if they're not using it, they're leaving money on the table. That was that user's feedback there. Another example of results here for success. Here's a chain of 7 locations, Max Fitness Clubs, and their results from a marketing campaign resulted in 400 memberships in a 3-day time frame. So quite impressive. High ROI, immediate return on investment, great results. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up now for, actually let's review pricing here, the pricing module, and we'll open it up for a Q&A if everyone does not mind here. So for being on the webinar today, we do have a webinar special and offer for the webinar. And that special for the participants here today would be a waived setup fee. The setup fee are typically $199 setup fee for data scrubbing, the integration and setup. That is being waived for anyone on this webinar that's participating. The second added bonus for webinar participation and kickoff is your first month is complimentary as a courtesy ramp-up period to get EZMessaging implemented, set up, and start pumping some results before your service payment kicks in. Now, pricing beyond your promotion, you're probably wondering, is month-to-month packages on a reoccurring month-to-month basis with no contract required. Packages start as low as $49 a month and up. There has been an introductory package created for the kickoff launch of this solution. That introductory package is $49.99 and would equip you with 2,000 text messages per month. And the system monitors your usage and message allotment on any package you choose and will stop you from going over your allotted amount. You may upgrade and downgrade in volume and package levels at any time, and there's no contract required. The only difference from package to package is the allowed monthly text volume. So at $49, and as an introductory package for smaller volume type facilities, would be $49.99, 2,000 messages. Next one up would be $99 at 4,000, $149 at 7,000, $199 at 10,000, which seems to be a very common package, $199 at 10,000 text credits per month. This will be emailed to you after the webinar, along with an enrollment form to get your account activated and initiate your 30-day ramp-up for those that are interested. So upon webinar completion, you will receive an enrollment form via DocuSign to activate your EZMessaging account and initiate the 30-day ramp-up period. This rate sheet, along with the $49 package offering, will be included on that document as an option as well. For those that have questions, would like a one-to-one demo, or need further details, I am now sharing my contact information here on the screen. Feel free to connect with me anytime. My direct mobile number is listed there. You may contact me. You may text me. My direct office line is there, as well as my direct email. For any additional questions, one-to-one demos, or any further details needed, feel free to connect. And at this juncture, EZFacility team and everyone on the webinar, I kindly open it up for any questions that we may address.
All right, thanks so much, Nick. That was fantastic. So we're going to go into our questions now. So just as a reminder, as you're going through, please feel free to leave as many questions as possible. We also have Mike Vidal, our R&D director, here to help out with some questions, as well as Nicole Clugston, our sales manager. So please feel free to write in anything that's on your mind. Okay, so we got one right here. With billing alerts, is it only for payments that encounter processing errors, or could it be used for outstanding billing / owed invoices?
Yes, so the first question we have is related to billing notifications, and does it include both reoccurring payments and or one-time transactions like invoices or follow-up payments? Yes, any decline that occurs within the EZFacility payment process, whether it be a reoccurring membership payment or a invoice, any decline that occurs would qualify or may qualify them to receive billing communication.
Great. All right. Next question we have up is, does the phone number need to be in the cellular box in their account to be valid? And also, what format does the phone number need to be typed in as? For example, can it be just one long number? Does it need dashes in betweens?
Gotcha. Very good question. And I normally address it in my presentation. I can't believe I missed it. Here's how that works. The API is designed to do the following, the integration. It's going to first validate if you have a mobile number listed in the mobile field within your club management software. If there's one listed there, we pull it and use it. However, we find it very common that clubs do not enter mobile numbers in that field. They take whatever phone number is provided by the customer and put it in the first point of entry, which I believe is either primary or home. We also pull that number there as well. So you are covered on all bases in the terms of wherever your staff is populating the number. We're going to pull it regardless. If we see it in mobile, we pull it. If we don't see it there, we pull the primary. There is no magic formula of how it needs to be entered. I would just say that obviously all 10 digits need to be there, including area code, for it to be a valid number.
Excellent. Thanks, Nick. So next question we have is, how do we use this to get customers to do Google reviews, as we know these help your organic listing on Google?
Very creative question, and that would be a very unique and creative way to use a text campaign. So initially, without putting too much thought in it, my first response to that inquiry would be this. You can use the mass group texting aspect of it and generate a text message to your active members, asking them and encouraging them to provide that feedback on Google reviews, perhaps incentivize them for participating. And what we would want to do is include the link within that text message and say, you know, click here to write your review now, or click here to provide us the feedback on Google review. So you would essentially take that Google review link and link them up directly to that opportunity in the text message for easy access, where they would click and they could literally type the review through Google on their smartphone. And we can show you how that's conducted at a training session or assist with that, but that would essentially be utilized using the URL shortener and URL link embedding within the text campaign itself for the recipients to access and provide that review back on Google.
Great, thanks, Nick. So next question we have is, if auto messaging is turned on for billing, say a 3-day reminder or a 10-day reminder, and they go over their total monthly allotted messages, will those messages still go out? Will they have to be held off until the next cycle? Will the remaining people not meet or not receive those text messages? What is the overall process of upgrading to more messages?
Yep, that's a valid question there. And what we've done to avoid the mess of, oh my God, it's a Saturday and I can't get in contact with anyone to upgrade my package, or I have to wait till next week. We don't want to prevent any of your communication from going out when it's needed. We don't want to put anything to a halt. So how that works is as follows. Let's say there's a week left in the month or a couple days left in the month, and you've exhausted all your messaging. At that juncture, your campaign center is locked out. You can't send any more ad hoc campaigns to a mass group of people at once. But your billing notifications, your new member alerts, your happy birthday messages are still going to trigger for you, and will continue. And on the first of the month, your total volume will reset at its allotted amount. But the answer to your question is no, those don't come to a halt. They will continue to trickle because they're one-off messages and not per se going to hundreds or thousands of people at one time.
Great. A follow-up question to that, will those occur an additional charge?
In that situation, in that scenario, no. But if there becomes like a high volume case, then there could potentially be an upgrade recommended to the user. But no overage fees or upgrading of the account without consent.
Great, thank you for clearing that up. Okay, next question. If a person opts in via the text service, like texting a code to a promo number 531, does it create an account in EZFacility or check whether there is an account in EZFacility?
Not at this juncture. So what that process would look like is this. Consumer sees a mobile call to action with a keyword and short code to opt in because you're marketing your keyword. So the consumer would opt in to redeem the offer, like a guest pass, for example. And there would be two things at that time that would be recommended. One, they're going to get an autoresponder text message. And in that autoresponder text message, you could essentially link them up to a web form on your website. And if that web form is currently capturing leads and funneling them to your system, then yes, we could potentially drive them right into Club Facility system if you're utilizing a web form that feeds that data directly to your club management system. If you're not or don't have that capability, if you're not using a web form that provides that on your website, then EZMessaging is keyword functionality is capturing the cell phone number. And when your staff interacts with that person and schedules an appointment, that's when you would gather that information such as name, date of birth, and email. And once that appointment is booked, enter them into your club management system. So it'd be one of two ways. Automation would be the most ideal way. So if you have the web form functionality that's putting people that complete that form into your system, great. If not, then it would be a manual entry once your team connects with that lead inquiry, and then they would put them into EZFacility and create a profile. And I'm pulling in someone from our dev team as well to address any technical questions that might arise right now. And I do have an associate here now with me. So if there's any further technical questions, he may be able to better respond.
Great, thank you so much, Nick. So here's a sort of technical question. Do any settings need to be set up on the client's EZ account, like checkbox for EZ or SMS messages, anything of the sort?
No, not at this time.
Excellent.
Now back to my keyword, Caitlin, the keyword inquiry a moment ago. We would down the road explore the potential of the keyword opt-ins funneling right into EZFacility, but that'll be a parking lot topic for us to discuss at a later time. It is possible. It would just be something that we need to circle the wagons on and see what it would take or what would be needed to complete something like that.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, Caitlin, let me add to that too. So I think there's a few questions that I heard on regarding the data pushing back to EZFacility system. Yeah, that's very simple. All we need to do is we'll talk to the dev team, and then once a keyword comes in, and then as soon as that lead comes in, it could go directly into the EZFacility as far as the lead. That's very easy. We could do that. I think the second question regarding if a client wants opt-in, opt-out process from the EZFacility, that's doable. But our system will be the initial, so we could push the opt-in, opt-out to you guys versus receiving it from the administrator side for you guys. I don't want to confuse the situation, but we can discuss that in more details.
Yeah, right now the EZMessaging system will auto manage opt-ins and opt-outs, but it wouldn't reflect on the EZFacility UI user interface at this time. But that could be an option down the road.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for going into that, guys. So we have another question here. This is a good one. Is this good to use in Canada? And will there be extra charges if you are in Canada to the user to send messages? Yeah,
great question. So EZMessaging is active and may be used in Canada. The short code there is 88988. And the difference is in pricing, packages would remain the same as far as the price point, $49.99, $199, and so on. but there is less messaging equipped with Canadian packages due to the cost on messaging in Canada. So yes, it is more costly in Canada, unfortunately, to deliver SMS messaging. But in terms of pricing points to enroll for EZMessaging service, they are exactly the same as US pricing, but equipped with a little less messaging than the standard US packages. So both Canadian and US pricing sheets will be shared after the webinar.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So we have one more question. Things are starting to wind down. We're getting a little over our time right now. So
Sure.
Final question, and then if there's anything outstanding, we can make sure to contact all you guys. So thank you so much again for all of your messages and sticking with us through the webinar. So last question here is, are we able to mass text our current database without them opting into EZMessaging?
Yes and no. So there's a process for that. So because EZMessaging was built around TCPA compliance, and I had stated previously in the early stages of the webinar that no one receives a text message without being disclaimed, first and foremost. So with your active client base or active member base, when the data loads from EZFacility to EZMessaging, before you can send any campaigns out to these audiences, the system walks you through disclaiming them first, which is a message that would go to them asking for permission to send them periodic communication via text message. And to unsubscribe, reply stop. 24 hours later, your data groups become campaignable, meaning whoever hasn't opted out and whoever remained as opted in will be your ongoing text list from that point, from your previous data. We typically see less than 10% opt out. So don't be alarmed. It's not alarming. It's not a huge opt out ratio. Typically, your customers want to hear from you. It's the older customers or older prospects that are no longer your customers today. You'll probably see a higher opt out ratio from those audiences. But the answer to your question is that the data needs to be disclaimed first and foremost, unless you already have gained consent. If you have gained consent previously, then we can bypass that option.
Okay, excellent. So we actually got one more question that's pretty important that we want to touch upon that I'll read real quick. So will the SMS session reminders that are already in EZFacility count as the 4,000 allowed, or are those two functions separate? And I believe Mike Vidal over on our side could clarify that a little bit more.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I just wanted to highlight your point there at the end about obtaining consent prior to going into the EZMessaging system. So that checkbox in our system is in no way a form of consent. It's ultimately more of a verbal consent, which is, Nick, you can highlight a little bit more around the consent aspect of it, but really it's just a checkbox saying that you're opting them into receiving session reminders within our system. So when that data gets synced into the EZMessaging, that is not being used as a part of the consent to receive messages through the EZMessaging system. So I did want to just highlight that the session reminders checkbox in our system is not a formal version of consent and would still need to be handled through the EZMessaging system.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great point too. And if anyone has a do not contact list, or perhaps you were using texting from a previous provider or a standalone solution, it would be important that we recognize your previous opt-out data. And before any messaging occurs within EZMessaging, we have the ability to opt that data out before you get active.
All right, that sounds great. Thank you guys again. Looks like questions have wound down and we're a bit past our deadline time. So let's wrap this up. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us today. And thank you so much, Nick and Wace over at Textmunications, for taking the time to walk us through EZMessaging and show us everything it's capable of.
Thank you so much.
Yep, and if anyone has any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time, and we will all talk to you soon. Thanks again.